Hello, my name is Richard and I live in Creston, BC in Canada, where I make abstract animation and visual music art films by drawing both the picture and the soundtrack directly onto 35mm or 16mm film stock. And you can make these films too. So I'm going to show you a quick crash course on how you can do it. Let's get started. This table, I custom built it. It's made of plexiglass and plywood, and it's got a fluorescent bulb in behind. Another alternative is these portable light tables that are come in various sizes, and they have a glass top on them. But if you don't have access to those materials, what you can also use is a sheet of white paper and place the paper under the film and bounce light under the paper, so you'll actually be able to see through the film. It gives you an idea as to the density of colors and things. If you need to magnify it, you find these magnifying glasses, or even the film loops help as well. Basically, the first thing you want to get is some 16mm film. I use black and white stock, so you can get that in two varieties. One is the actual black film, which is very opaque, and the other is the clear. There's two kinds of perforations, and this one here is the double perforation, and that's a silent film. And then the other one, perforations are on one side, and so that allows a soundtrack on the other side of the film. Here's just some quick examples how you can use some of these tools. So the first one's the X-Acto blade with the sharp point, and this can be, you can just scratch shapes and lines into the film. The curved blade really takes a lot more of the emulsion out, so you can create window effects. The pointed tool with the pin is one of my favorite tools. It's quite comfortable to hold. You can create circular shapes, and very much like a ballpoint pen, only you're actually scratching away the emulsion onto the film. Another nice effect is making star or like effervescent shapes by literally pounding the film to create small holes through it. Some do go right through, but that's okay. The steel wool is an interesting one. So if you twist it, you get spiral shapes, and you can drag it to create linear shapes. And the sandpaper is a similar effect. Twisting creates the spirals and long linear shapes. Now these also pick up particles from under the film as well, so you can create some interesting textures with having rough surfaces that you sand over. You can pick up the pictures on coins and things this way. You only have to be careful that you don't damage the perforations on the edge. But if you do, you can repair it using the splicer. Now you can color it. I use two different kinds of inks basically, and one is a water-based ink. They work very well. And more recently I've been experimenting with these alcohol inks. Sort of like color dyes with, I think, isopropyl alcohol in them. About all these inks can be also removed from the film, or you can experiment with isopropyl. Magic markers are also a good coloring tool. Any waterproof permanent magic marker will work. Even though they say permanent, again, the isopropyl alcohol will erase them. You can actually color both sides of the film, and that way you're able to create a sense of a depth of field. One unusual thing you can do with 16mm film is actually create your own soundtrack right directly on the film. You'll need to use the single perf film, keeping the perforations to your right. On the left side area is the soundtrack, and I'm just going to scratch in just a few quick sounds for an example. This machine here is an optical sound reader, and you can play back the sound that you just made right away. And if you decide to try this, you can actually synchronize your picture with the sound. And so the picture is 26 frames ahead of the soundtrack area. And the reason for that is the film has to travel through the film projector in such a way that the picture has to reach the lens at the same time the sound reaches the optical sound reader. To make some other unusual sounds, I use different kinds of letraset, graphic tapes, and spirograph symbols, and you can cut strips out of these. You have them photographed onto a clear mylar. You tape them onto the film, and these produce some pretty unusual sounds. If you don't have an optical sound reader, you can actually just use the 16mm film projector. Another fun technique you can do with 16mm film, especially the clear film, is stick things onto the film that are translucent or transparent. For example, this film I've stuck flower petals and leaves from the garden just kind of randomly along the film. You get some surprising and unusual effects doing that sort of botanical animation style. After you've finished working on your film, eventually you're going to want to project it. So you'll need a 16mm projector, and they project the film at 24 frames per second. Now you can run the film forwards or backwards. Some projectors do freeze frames. You can do live music. You can project these kind of films behind a band or on shears. There's just a multitude of different ways you can actually present these films aside from just in a theater.